So this weird camper is kind of a case. Be careful what you wish for. Welcome everybody. Josh RV Dirt of Bish's RV down here at Grand Design today with one of the more, I think, unique and interesting floor plans in their lineup. You're either gonna love this or you're gonna hate it. There's probably not anything in between, so let's get in there. Basically what they did here is there are so many people who will often comment on videos or provide feedback and say, why don't they put the windows on the campsite? Well, the entry door is actually the problem. The entry door prevents manufacturers from typically flipping an RV. So what they did is they built around that specifically for this model. And instead of having a slide out on the driver's side, it has a slide out on the camp side of the RV, which allows this to have maximum windows on your side of the campsite where you really want it. Now, what's cool about that is it actually maximizes the kitchen, provides more counter space and way more storage than a kitchen slide would normally provide. I know that sounds backwards, but that's actually how it works out. And interestingly, this design allows you to gain more space on the campsite of your RV, which sounds like nonsense because you're thinking, there's a slide on the campsite. How could that be? Because there's no slide on the driver's side. You can literally position your RV closer to basically your campsite property edge to maximize the space you get on your campsite. But every RV's greatest asset is also its greatest liability. It's really cool that this one has great road mode access and great storage and a true queen bed and a bunch of other awesome things. But it also means the design of this layout does not allow for a really nice big awning space, which you normally find on imagined floor plans. So this is specifically designed for people who are looking for a different thing, who want a small RV that maximizes and focuses first on interior living space and worries last about exterior campsite patio function. So they make other models for other things, but that's how this one do right here. And if you want to kind of learn more about that, the ups and the downs of it, stay tuned here. And if, as we go, I'd love to hear from you. What do you like about it and what would you change? And if you like how we try to give you that voice, and your opinions are literally one of the things that help make this floor plan possible, hit the little subscribe button and keep that feedback coming. Let's go. And it might just be because, like, if you watch an RV video and you think to yourself, oh, it's just this, all these guys are just building the same layouts as one another. Imagine being the guy who makes all the videos. You're not wrong necessarily. Like, yeah, they like to cheat off one another's tests. That's absolutely true. But you know what? If you were in their shoes, you probably would too. That's one of the things I've always respected about Imagine. They decided, I don't care what you build. I'm going to build what I build. And they made some really cool stuff. Sometimes it's a little wacky and weird like this, but I kind of get it. And again, what this one is doing is what we're staring at right here. It's maximizing campsite window coverage. And it was built specifically for that purpose. You know, if you don't care about campsite window coverage, if you don't like a campsite slide, I totally get that. I respect that completely. But this is what it takes, basically, in an RV this size to give you a decent living area and campsite windows, because the entry door prevents you normally from just flip-flopping an RV. Because even if you look at this floor plan, when you walk in the door, you're staring at the kitchen. You can't just flip it over unless you get rid of half the kitchen, and that sucks, you know. What's cool, though, is they had room for one of the larger theater sofas, but you might notice it's got the, you know, fold up down middle armrest area right here. So that you, if you want more cuddle compliance, or if you want to sling your legs across your partner's lap, maybe squeeze a foot rub out of them or something like that, easy to do. They really went all in on the Tron lighting, as you can see right here, the beam lights, as it were. And I also really like what they did this season. For 2025, they updated their window treatments. First of all, it just looks sleek and clean to me. And because oh, I thought that was plastic. That's metal. Oh, okay. I learned something today. You're never done learning, guys. But it's not just a blackout roller shade. They chose one with a little different end on it. And you notice how you're not hearing tink, 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 tink. That's what most blackout roller shades do. If the RV is not just on, like, secured like it's on a freaking concrete pad, they just constantly tippity tap all over the place. And I'm very sonically triggered. And I hear that stuff and my ears get tuned in on it, and it starts to drive me nuts. It's just like that one dripping sound from a kitchen sink. It will drive me absolutely crazy. So those little things are things I'm looking for. Nice big wide open space in here too for a small RV. It has a nice open feel. You're not doing the butt scoop boogie to slip slide past one another. They also this year went to a little bit larger fridge. They were doing an 8 cubic foot 12-volt fridge, and they've gone to a 10. What's really funny is they went to the bigger fridge at the same time a lot of brands have started going to a smaller one. Now, 10 cubic foot 12-volt fridges are still very, very common. They're still very much the dominant fridge out there for manufacturers that are using 12-volt compressor fridges. But more and more customers are saying, man, I like these things, but I can't afford one. So more and more manufacturers are finding ways to reduce price tags, and they're starting to shave down refrigerators. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, because visually it's kind of hard to see. It's like visually it's sort of hard to just glance at and see the difference between a true queen and a camp queen. I do this professionally, and sometimes I still miss on that. It's a thing that can happen. Notice too, still has a full propane oven, albeit a small one, but a propane oven and a microwave. They're doing and instead of or. And this floor plan allows them, because you have that bedroom wall, which is hollow, it's not a laminated wall, it allows them to put some power outlets down where they're much easier to reach. And by the way, I'm going to swing you back to the left. Did you notice just above the countertop over here below the television, you've also got some household outlets over there. So all of the outlets in this kitchen are easier to reach than you normally run into in laminated wall RVs. That's actually one of the interesting benefits of a stick and tin camper, but they're kind of cheating, and they're getting the benefit of the stick and tin wall outlet function in this laminated RV in this floor plan specifically. They can't do it all the time everywhere, but they're doing it here. Now, it's technically a smoky glass insert on that cabinet. You can sort of technically see through it, but it breaks up, I think, the monotony of the cabinetry without really seeing any of the clutter inside there. Personally, I kind of like that, but that's my opinion. Oh, by the way, up top here, we have a larger Coleman Mach air unit, which is a pretty, it should keep up very nicely in a small camper like this. This model, I don't believe, offers 50 amp service. I don't think you get that until Imagine floor plans start to, the model numbers like, 26, 28, something like that. I think that's where you first start running into 50 amp service. I could be mistaken on that. I see a lot of different RV companies, and sometimes it does all bleed together. Notice though, I believe they changed this. I think they changed the entry door to actually include a full viewing window, but also integrated the privacy shade into it. I think they only had a smoky glass insert previously. I might be wrong on that. Again, I see a lot of campers. I will say, Imagine for years has set the standard on bedroom storage. I think it could be argued some other manufacturers took some heavy inspiration from what Imagine has done here and may arguably have accomplished more storage, but Imagine's absolutely, I think, where the bar is set in a north-south bed arrangement. And again, that is a true queen bed, by the way. And you see how, it's a full hanging wardrobe closet, but they build those little pockets in over there. Let me get you a little bit better look at that. You actually do have household and USB plugs in here on both sides. And CPAP users, we have done size testing that can fit in there. Now, as long as I'm up here in the bedroom, first of all, I want to mention that, yes, you actually do have bedroom heating. It is hilarious how many times RV manufacturers forget to heat a bedroom or a bunk room or a bathroom. And notice where your converter panel is located. Off in the corner up here. Perfect spot for it, in my opinion. It's easy to reach. The slide won't interfere with it. God forbid you pop a fuse or anything like that. Up top in the bedroom, we have just a simple vent. But you want to install a power fan or something in that? Not real hard to do. Not real hard to do, really, whatsoever. But again, they really crushed the bedroom storage in this thing. First of all, they enclosed the space over the bed, and they make the doors self-supporting so they don't just gravity drop on top of your head. It's just all those nice extra details. This is also all pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry. And then both sides of the bed have double dresser drawers, which is really, really handy. So you have dedicated socks and underwear drawers. You have space for your hanging clothes, although you could always put some shelves in those closets to maximize your dresser space. But also, the thing they do with their Easy Lift bed here, they have this little sliding tray under the bed space that almost acts like an additional dresser drawer, but it still allows room for big heavy stuff. For instance, This is what I'm going to call the Dinofa table, the dining table that's included with this, that could also be a kitchen counter extension, as if this floor plan needed any more countertop space. Oh, geez. It's easy I forget that they also have household outlets down there below the bed line. So, like, if you want to put up a standing fan or something, you absolutely could. Working our way backwards, I figured I'd just start cracking open the kitchen and working my way back around here. About the only thing this kitchen doesn't have is a dedicated spot for a wastebasket, because they just went all in on maximizing the drawer space on this layout. In case you're curious, that little control panel on the side of the kitchen cabinetry on the right side of the screen that's just about to disappear, that is your smart command system. Now, what's nice about that is it does just have normal switches for like water pump, water heater, slides, awning, stuff like that. It's also your system's monitor panel to like check your holding tank capacities and stuff like that. But this is one of the campers that still has a smart command system, where if you want to get the free Bluetooth app and go wireless mode to control stuff, you can do that. Some people really like those things. I've sort of phased out of it. Like, I don't mind if it's there. To me, it's not as important as it used to be. But it's a feature. You don't have to use it. It's just a thing that's available. But good Lord, what do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 big drawers in this floor plan. It's kind of crazy how much total, counter space and drawer capacity you have in this little RV. And even with all the drawers blown wide open, look how much space is still just available in here. But don't forget, we also have that floating table. So if for some reason you needed more counter space, you could flush it along the kitchen counter like this. You could turn it 90 degrees perpendicular to kind of have a wraparound kitchen counter. In its current arrangement, especially with those power outlets right there, it could almost function as something of like a little mobile work desk kind of station. Not ideal, but potentially functional. Theoretically, you could use the TV like an additional monitor, but you could legitimately have a multi-monitor station going on. Although obviously you are blocking a lot of kitchen storage when you're doing that. I'm not trying to present this as like, this has a desk. It does not. It could get you through real quick if need be. But I think that table's obvious primary function is, what tables do. You eat at them. I should mention it also has multiple height settings. So if that feels like that's probably a good height for me to sit and eat at, but I'm a taller guy. If you need it down a little bit, you can do that. There's 4 specific positions and heights that you can set that for. If you want it down low, like more of a coffee table situation, you want to take it outdoor for picnic table, you can do that too. But it's free floating. Nothing says you have to use it. It's just there if you want it. But let's not forget, after a long day of not working, you have earned the time to kick your feet up, watch the boob tube, take a snooze, and relax here. And if, again, you prefer cuddle compliance, you flip the armrest out of the way. If you like population control, you can flip that sucker down. And as long as we're busting out the musical references, if you're sitting here and you're like me and you always fiddle with your phone absolutely nonstop, all you got to do is push it. And you got a set of USB plugs right there. You just got to push it real good and you're good to go. I'm looking at this. I think it's unintentional, but I think behind the sofa would actually be a good spot to, like, if you want to slot a couple board games or something. I think that they would fit back there pretty well. I don't know. Anyway, moving on from there. Oop, hold on. I just saw something out of the corner of my eye I want to kind of focus on. I'm going to draw your attention back to the ceiling. Now, this RV does have a stovetop exhaust vent hood, which is really, really handy. But it also has a power vent fan in both the bathroom and the living kitchen area. Now, it's a small fan, but it's a fan. And it's very easily upgraded, especially now that they already ran the wiring. My nerd preferred vent fan upgrade is from a company called Hengs, the Hengs Vortex series, Hengs. I don't do sponsored content. It's just a product I've personally used, I've personally installed, because it's easy, and I personally believe in. You can install like 5 Hengs Vortex fans for the cost of 1 true Max Air. And it doesn't provide exactly the same airflow as a true Max Air. Pretty good. It does pretty good, guys. That is, as Mr. Anton, who watches the videos all the time, likes to say, that is a bazooka butt-friendly bathroom right there. That is for the big booty Rudies and the big booty Judies. Everybody should be able to fit in there regardless of booty size and or capacity. Now, the XLS Imagines don't have a barreled roof. They have a 6.5-foot sidewall and a linear interior ceiling. Barreled exterior roof, but linear inside. So my head's going to be up in the skylight. Kind of keep that in mind right there. Narrow linen cabinet, open face, but being narrow, it'll tend to keep your towels and stuff in place pretty darn well. But take a look at this. You know, across from the shower, we've got just huge countertop area. Let me actually get in here. I'm going to back up and actually slide right into the shower. I didn't expect to take a shower with you today, but hey, here we are, guys. This I do my own stunts. I'm not doing shower yoga today. For those who watch regularly, my back hurts. I screwed myself up doing that the other day. By the way, take a look at this. It just looks cool. The black sink looks cool, but listen. That is basically a coated sink, so it's not just a generic plastic sink. There's something that's more impact resistant, more temperature weather resistant. Now, I'm standing right in between the medicine cabinets right here. This sort of looks like when someone's trying to stand behind a telephone pole to hide from the paparazzi. Nailed it. Anyway, this is actually, I think, a lot bigger than you would initially realize. There we go. Now you get a look at me. Pleased to meet you, everybody. For those who we've just tuned in, take a look at this right here. Those medicine cabinet vanities are surprisingly big and deep, and there's 2 of them. That's why I like to take the time to get all that stuff open for you. The space under the sink in the bathroom, that is one area that will provide you an awesome opportunity for wastebasket solutions. So, and also that big drawer. Like if you have electric shavers and blow dryers and blah, 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 there's an actual drawer that can fit that stuff in there. And frankly, most RVs don't have solutions for practical daily functions like that. And this one's road mode is pretty much excellent. Like at first glance, the side's like, hello. It's right in your face over here. It does give us a very good look at that new Slim Rack slide mechanism that they're rocking over here. But the fact is, you walk in the door, you know, you're at a travel stop or something, you got to do an overnight stay over, got to make a meal, you got to run back to the bathroom, whatever the case might be. This thing is extremely like truck stop, travel stop, turtle friendly, dude. And if you appreciate how we take the time to show you everything like that, maybe tap that little subscribe button if you're new with us. And we're going to keep on keeping on like Joe Dirt, because life's a garden. Gotta dig it, brother. One of the other nice things about this, you can see the specs over there on the left side of the screen. You don't need a giganto truck to be able to haul this thing around. Like with a maximum weight, effectively 7,000 pounds, $69.95, 7,000 pounds, calling a spade, a duck, a duck. Many half tons will find this within their safe capacities. Now, they tend to put pretty decent holding tanks on here. But if you're a person that likes to tow with water, first of all, I always recommend you do that as little as possible. But if you do that a bunch, you will want to be aware of your cargo capacity on this. Let's dive in. Oh, first of all, take a look at this. Over here in the background, you see like this Imagine has an aluminum nose. That one has a fancy fiberglass. This is a Imagine XLS. This is the middle member of the family between AIM and I guess you just call it full Imagine or Imagine proper. And really, there's not a lot of difference. Like this doesn't have a nose cap. This doesn't have a front drop frame, but it's significantly lighter weight and less expensive as a result. Now, they don't make a full Imagine version of this floor plan. Each sub-series of the members of the family have their own sets of floor plans. I like to point this out too. They use rubberized flooring in their front passenger compartment like a Momentum toy hauler. So, you know, if you're throwing big rough stuff up in there, you're not just like ripping up linoleum or whatever. It just keeps it looking nice, which is kind of a nice touch. Now, one quick thing, and then I'm going to open the awning because I think that's a real hot button topic on this floor plan specifically, is this RV doesn't ride on a traditional I-beam style chassis. It's actually on a Norco Huck bolted chassis. So it's one of the few that tends to do that. Now, I need to kind of clarify something. When I began the video, I said that it doesn't have the biggest awning like Imagines usually have. It actually does have a big awning, but so like most of their trailers, you know, the awning starts right behind the baggage door, then goes essentially all the way to the rear wall. They're very, very good about that. But we have a campsite slide. And I know that when you encounter that, People sometimes are like, well, how much space do I really have? Well, you know, rather than sit here and listen to me go, oh, it's not bad, I'd rather just show you. And I'd rather talk about what's real on this. So one of the nice things about this is that, in a sense, you could look at this like some sort of free, quote unquote, integrated slide awning. One of the things people might not like about it is if it is a windy day, in theory, you can see it's even happening here a little bit. The tops of that slide are just kissing the awning. And on a windy day, if it's flippity flapping around, well, you're gonna, you know, potentially be putting extra wear on the awning in those locations. So what you might want to do proactively, I never thought about this before till just now, get a piece of like slide awning repair tape and literally protect your RV awning by putting a strip of it right where that slide touches. That's probably a really good idea. And I don't like that you should have to do that, but I think it would be a good idea if you did that. And I'd rather tell you now so that you could plan accordingly and calculate that into your total cost of ownership. The other thing that this does is it does block a good chunk, about a third of the awning lighting from reaching your campsite patio at night. So you want to kind of consider that. You might notice they got rid of the Schwintek slide system, though. This is the new slim. Well, actually, what's funny is Slim Rack is not new. It has just become very popular all of a sudden here, essentially. We are camera ready. We have a ladder, 250-pound rated, to get us up to that walkable roof, so you don't have to go get a telescopic separate ladder. You could if you wanted to. You just don't have to now. This is a cold water sprayer port. That's the circle next to the awning arm. And you do have a gas grill cooker hooker quick connect right down there next to your low point drains, it looks like. Wrapping around the back here, we have our Class 3 receiver hitch. When you step up from AIM to XLS, imagine, you also step up on the bulkiness, essentially, of the rear hitch, and it bumps up to a 300-pound rating. And what was I going to say? Oh, they've also bumped up their solar package to be a little more in line with current trends. It's 200 watts. It's not massive. It's a good battery tender. But it's not like, oh, if you're boondocking, you can run the whole camper. No, it's nothing like that. It's a good battery tender. That's all it is. If you're going to be boondocking, you want to do real work, you pretty much need a generator, or you're going to have to spend some coin, expand your solar package, being real. Now, one thing that is just kind of a on this model, because Imagine's really good at avoiding this where they can, it is a two-headed sewer monster. In the back, you do have your bathroom black and gray. In the front, you do have your kitchen gray tank outlet. Thankfully, it's not a big model, so you don't got to do a really extended poop scoop boogie, but you got, you know, it's a thing. So, Goodyear Endurance radials, nice touch. TPMS prepped and ready, plug and play, very cool. And you see the red kind of wheel calipers down here. That's telling us that this is outfitted with Lippert's ABS, anti-lock brake safety system. But this year, I think it might be exclusive to Grand Design. I'm not sure, but I know your Grand Designs have been doing this. They now have the electronic anti-sway activated on that. So this RV looks like a bunch of other small campers in terms of size and whatnot, but it has potentially greater towing safety factors as a result of the tech that's built on. And what's great is it requires zero thought. It is essentially automagical. Now, this is what I was saying earlier. Like if you look at that Transcend, that big stick and tin camper in the background, you see how it has all the slides over there on the driver's side, which a lot of people like. I get it. There's a lot of benefits to it. But that means the actual physical body of the camper has to be parked 3 foot further off of your property line and into your campsite. With this one, you're actually parking the RV against the edge of your property line. And yes, the slide out bumps into your campsite a little bit, but the actual total push-pull is you gain more patio space. But you do have the slide eating up part of your awning. Everything is a push and a pull. Again, basic but enclosed docking center and a very solid pass-through cavity here. Hopefully I have it activated. There we go. We got a handy little motion light for the front pass-through up there, which is something I personally really like on these. So, underbelly. It is forced air heated. It is enclosed. They apparently have done the 0 to 100 degree testing on this. A lot of RV companies like to use the phrase 4 seasons. I don't like that phrasing because I think what 4 seasons in what state? Because each state gets a different 4 seasons. My recommendation, if you take nothing else away from this video, if you are shopping for an RV, what I would recommend you do is take the phrase, "Is it 4 seasons?" out of your vocabulary, because most of these things aren't actually tested and proven. And the average salesperson, to get your money, is just going to go, "Yup." Even if it is, or even if it isn't, it doesn't matter. They'll just say it. So if you're curious, or if you're serious, double check the links in the description. I've got one link down there that'll take you right to our website. Any of these that we have in stock, it'll have MSRP and availability listed. I didn't say pricing, I said MSRP, which is to me not the same thing, because we don't ask MSRP on our RVs at Bish's. We also don't do hidden dealer fees, but guidelines here prevent us, in the case of Grand Designed RVs, from publishing our discounted sale pricing. But at least you can get a rough barometer right there. Who else makes something like this? Because it's Rockwood. Rockwood's the only other, or Flagstaff, because they're the same thing, is the only other manufacturer I've seen to basically copy this floor plan. If we're just going to call a spade, a duck a duck. I'll leave you a link to one of those that I've gone through. I don't know, if you're feeling froggy, hop on over, take a look at it, and on either video, let me know which one you would go with. I'd be kind of curious. And if you appreciate how we get you inside and outside and upside down on these things, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you next time. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.